to another rowing coaching video. This month I'm going to talk a little bit about putting the blade in at the front end of the stroke, getting that catch connection. I am way overdressed for this video. This is probably the smartest dress that I've been in any of my videos, so I'm kind of enjoying that. But thank you for tuning in, and if you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the rowing coaching channel. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about how to put the blade in and how you could do a whiteboard talk with your athletes, or if you're an athlete watching this, you know, what to be looking for in terms of putting that blade in and getting that connection at the front end of the stroke. So what we have here is the water line, and I'll change the color here. So we'll go with a purple blade. Shout out to UL in London. Let's say that's the blade, and the blade's going to come back and try and connect with the water as early as possible in the stroke. So essentially what's going to happen is the blade's going to come down to the water and connect as early as possible. Okay, so that's what really should be doing, and we'll get to just that in just a second. But if we look at it, what most novices are doing is the hands are dropping and the blade's actually going up away from the water. So maybe that means they're not rocking over and getting the body prep early in the recovery. So they're kind of lunging for it and trying to establish that body angle right at the end of the slide before they put the blade in. And if the hands are going down, so what you can tell them is, you know, ideally what we want to be doing is getting the blade in the water as close to the bow as possible. But if their hands are dropping, then the blade's coming up in the air. So inevitably when they try and take the stroke, the blade's going to take this kind of a route to the water, and it's called skying the blade, and you're missing a lot of front end connection, missing a lot of that connection at the beginning of the stroke. So if the goal is to put the blade in here, then you can show your rowers that they have in fact missed X in terms of the distance, the horizontal distance, or they're missing X in terms of their stroke length. And so what you can say to them is, well, if you're missing X for one stroke, how many strokes do you have in a 5,000 meter head race? Well, you sort of think, well, 30 strokes per minute for, 16, 17 minutes, so that's 16, times 30, which ends up being a large number. So that number times X is how much you're missing. So then you can put it in terms of, well, if you're rowing in an 8 and everybody's doing that, then that's 8 times X that we're missing every stroke. Multiply that out by the number of strokes in the race, and the kids sort of have this, they're all in math class, they all have this idea of, what does X times 600, and that's a lot, okay? So in terms of putting the blade in and sort of visualizing that for them, that helps them think about, well, if I just improve by a little bit, so say for example, they improve the skying a little bit, and the blade's now doing, so we can adjust this, and let's say the blade's now doing, it's getting a little bit better, but ultimately the blade's not quite coming down to the water when they reach the point at the front of the slide, and so now the blade's coming in right here, okay? So what we've done is we've missed Y, all right, we've missed this much water, but we have improved by a factor of A. So A is our improvement, and that could be an improvement of, let's say, 20%, something like that, as a value of X, and then we've got ourselves a little bit more improvement. Okay, so if you're talking to them about making improvements, and even if you're going out in the boat and you're rowing yourself, even if you make a small improvement with letting that blade drop in and getting that blade connected earlier on in the stroke, a 1% improvement of practice every day sort of multiplies itself out by every rower, and it gives the kids, even if they've improved by a little bit, they get a little bit of incentive, even if they haven't solved the whole problem itself. I mean, what we're ideally aiming for is that blade to come down to the water and meet the water right here, so the blade goes in as quickly as possible, and we've missed very, very little water. You're going to get a little bit of slip, you're not going to get it perfect, just because of the hydrodynamics of the system, but the better you can minimize the amount of distance lost in terms of X, the faster your boat's going to go. So how do you fix that? Well, I've done a few drills on some other videos in the channel You could do some catch placement drills. So an awful lot can be achieved by just having the boat still and having the kids sit at the release position and then tap down, come up to the slide, and let the hands rise as you're coming towards the front of the slide, thus bringing the blade down to the water for a good connection. So you could do catch placement, or you could do slap catches where you actually don't square the blade. The blade's feathered all the time, and the blade basically comes down to the water at the catch. So you're lifting the hands, the blade's coming down, and then you're slapping the blade on the water exactly where you'd want to put it in. So it just kind of teaches them. You can do that by 4s in an 8, you can do that by pairs in a 4, or you can just do the one row on their own, but you're just kind of emphasizing that idea of letting the hands lift so that you're bringing that blade down to the water and you're minimizing the amount of water that you're actually missing at the catch. So hopefully this whiteboard talk has been helpful to you. I think before you go out on the water, it's really, really important to visualize it for the kids. A lot of kids are visual learners these days, and just give them a sense of even a small improvement will multiply itself out over 600 strokes, over 250 strokes in a sprint race. And the kids can do that math and go, okay, if I do this change, then a lot of good things can happen. So that's it for this video. Thank you for tuning in. As I said, if you like the video, hit like, and if you can subscribe to the channel for future updates when I send them out every couple of weeks, every month, you'll get the new video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.